Trae Young, who has previously called LeBron the GOAT, and keep in mind, wasn't even born when Michael Jordan hit that game-winning shot in the 1998 NBA Finals, tweeted this out yesterday. He said, "I feel like this documentary gonna make me put MJ #1 instead of #2. So Shannon, how much will young people who did not really get a chance to watch Michael Jordan play live be swayed by what they saw last night and what they will see from this documentary?
I think some young people will be swayed. And that's what happens when we see documentaries, Skip. And for me, I happen to be a situation where I'm old enough to remember Michael Jordan taking that shot at Carolina in 1982. And I remember him hitting that game-winning shot. And I remember him going to the Wizards in the early 2000s. But Skip, if you didn't know about a player, it's going to sway you. If you didn't know just how good Michael Jordan was, it's probably going to sway you. Skip, you know, while being quarantined, I've had an opportunity, and I've watched a lot of documentaries. And some of these documentaries, I knew about Sam Cooke, and I knew about Miles Davis, and I knew about some of these other guys. But some of the guys, like a Lee Morgan, I had never heard of. And then you see the documentary, you're like, well, damn, didn't no one ever talk about him? So you learn things if you didn't already know. About Sam Cooke, I knew Sam Cooke can sing. But Skip, I didn't know how involved he was in the civil rights, and I didn't know kind of what made him tick and how he felt about certain things, about how he couldn't perform. And he was proud, and he would stand up in the face of, white authority. So for me, Skip, it doesn't change me for the simple fact is that I know what Michael Jordan was, but I get an opportunity to see behind the scenes. But I think also, Skip, is that guys generally gravitate towards guys in their era that they played against. And I think that's, for me, I think Aaron Donald, I think J.J. Watt and Khalil Mack and Von Miller, I think they're tremendous. But there's no way in hell I can put them in front of LT or Reggie White or Bruce. I think some of these DBs currently playing, but they don't go in front of time. They don't go in front of Ward. That's just me because I played against those guys. Now I'm watching these guys play, Skip, and they're hell of a players. Not to take anything away from them. But I think for the young guys, like a guy like Trae, Skip, he don't remember one shot that Mike took. Not one. So he's getting an opportunity to see. Skip, there have been a lot of guys that could glide through the air. Elgin Baylor could dunk the ball, David Thompson, Dr. J. There's a lot of guys that had trick shots off the glass, Pete Maravich, and a lot of different guys. But nobody possessed the acrobatics, the creativity like a Michael Jordan, and the ability to score the basketball. That's what made him so unique, Skip. He could score like Wilt. He had the acrobatics and the elevation of a Dr. J, but the creativity of a Pistol Pete Maravich. We had never seen a guy that had all that in one package. And then you get the aura that's around him, the Beatles or the Jacksons at their height. We've never seen anything like it before, Skip, and I think that's what some people, and plus, Skip, what does he got? The logo, the jump man. Now you got Skip, you got NFL players wearing jump man cleats. We've never seen a guy that had that kind of crossover. We've never seen that. And to hear David Falk tell the story that Michael wanted to sign with Adidas, but they didn't want to give him about what you gonna call the line. Skip, they didn't even want to call the line Jordan. They're like, we'll give him a clothing line, but we're going to call it something else. What? You better call it Jordan, Air Jordan, whatever it was. And because he played, he looked like he was elevating. He's like, gravity didn't define him. He was defied gravity. So for me, Skip, I think that's what's going to be. It's everything that's around him. And he was a damn great 15-time generational great player. But it's all the things that went around Jordan. And everything that we see, Skip, because the table that they're eating from right now, Michael Jordan said it.
You got it, which is why soon after this doc ended last night, I tweeted, "Say good night, LeBron," and I meant it, as in say good night to the GOAT debate, because Trae Young called this even before he watched the doc. Yeah, today he's going to be swept up in what he saw, the emotions that got pulled from people last night as they saw what Michael actually went through with that little scoundrel Jerry Krause. and it made you feel for Michael and even elevate him to a higher pedestal, that he was having to deal with that and that owner, Jerry Reinsdorf. And I do think this is going to have supreme impact on younger people who, like Trae, were not even born before 1998. And I do think that it is also supreme timing, because Jordan has always been right place, right time. And obviously, they moved up the release date of this doc because we're all stuck at home for the right reason. But everybody was on fire last night to watch this, almost like it was the equivalent of a live playoff event. NFL, NBA, whatever you want it to be. It felt like a new live thing we could all react to when we're all so starved, so ravenous for anything live in the world and realm of sports. So I do think the kids are going to get caught up in this, and they're going to say, wow, because Steve Kerr said, if you saw the footage from '98, he was asking France, what's unique about this team? And he says, well, we're unique because of Michael. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. And you got to see Larry Bird in an updated interview. Larry Bird said, yeah, after he scored 63 on us in game 2 of the playoffs, they won it in overtime. The Celtics that Bird did, Parrish and McHale.
Double.
And yet Bird said that was God disguised as Michael Jordan. Wow, that's impactful. You could actually see the acrobatic athleticism, the mid-range jumpers on display, and you could see them in sequence and in context, to the point that I do believe kids will sit back and say, man, LeBron, I don't know. We're always prisoners of a moment, and I think this is prisoners of a time now that we all got to see from inside out, the way I lived it as the columnist for the Chicago Tribune in '98, and now the world got to see it. And I think it's going to make it harder on LeBron to make his GOAT case. I'm very intrigued to see how LeBron responds now, if he comes forward with his own IG Live about all my greatest moments. I don't know. Yeah, he might.
We got a documentary brewing. Me and Matt, we're going to sit down. We're going to discuss that later today. We got something brewing. Not right now. I think we got a couple of more championships we're going to win. And we got a lot of footage that we can that we're going to roll out. It probably won't be a 10-part series. It's probably going to be like 5 or 6, but who knows? Well, we got to brainstorm, get all these heads in the room, and something's going to come together. Skip, but look, in that era, that's Magic, and that's Kareem, that's Larry, that's a lot of great guys. And Skip, I believe they're going to kind of tend to lean towards those guys. It's kind of like if you talk about magicians. Now, people that grew up watching Harry Houdini going to say Harry Houdini is the greatest magician ever. But these new age, Skip, will probably say it's Copperfield or David Blaine. Look, I didn't see Harry Houdini. But some of the things that I heard he was able to do, defies what someone should be able to do, especially if you're in a straitjacket, handcuffed, and all that other things. But Skip, Michael with the shoe. Exactly, Skip. Michael with the shoe. Michael with the endorsements. Everything you see what these players are doing currently, Michael built that foundation. So what they're standing on is because of the platform that guy. So Skip, even if you don't believe it, Skip, that man fed me. He's the reason I'm getting $200 million. He's the reason I got a shoe contract. He's the reason I can be in movies and start these other platforms. He gave everybody the blueprint, and everybody is beholden to that. And so, Skip, I believe he's going to sway probably 30-40% of this younger generation. They're like, we got to go with Mike. But it's still GOAT.
Well, even though Michael Jordan has done so much well on and off the court, he's also had some failures, guys. So did he release The Last Dance to make up for some of those mistakes? We go there next.